He's built multi-million-dollar companies. His explosive books on health and wealth have sold over 60 million copies. Now, The Kevin Trudeau Show they don't want you to know.
If you come from a wealthy family, in your mother's line and your father's line, you have ancestors who had these type of beliefs or postulates or programs. Things like, it's easy to make money. Money is good because with money we can help people. They may have a postulate in the DNA that's in their DNA that says money is safety and security. The more we have, the safer and the more secure we are. Another one could be it's fun to make money. There could be all these different positive, which are not counter-intention. So wealthy people don't have counter-intentions. And if they do have counter-intentions in some of their DNA, they know how to clear them out. And virtually all wealthy people, whether it's the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Fords, the DuPonts, and I'm just talking about families in America that I know, but all over the world is exactly the same. Members of royal families get together with their kids and they work on what could be potentially counterintentions in their energetic field and their DNA, and they eliminate them so those people can prosper, so their children can prosper. Those children can create abundance, financial wealth, easily and effortlessly, or easier and with less effort than you, because it's so hard. This is what nobody even sees because they can't see energy. So when I see someone, I can look in their field and they say, I'm struggling with making money. Sometimes I'll do a one-on-one session with somebody and they'll get on and I'll look at their field and I'll scribble something down. I go, struggling with making money. And then I hold up the paper that's folded and they'll say, okay, so what do you want to talk about? They go, I'm struggling with making money. And I open it up and it says, struggling with making money. They go, you a psychic? I go, well, you can call me that. I said, but I just saw the energy in your field. I know it's a struggle for you to make money because you have all this counterintention. And I said, let me tell you about your mother. And your mother was very religious and she always said, money is the root of all evil. Oh my God, you're right. I go, and there was poverty on both sides. They both come from the wrong side of the tracks, correct? On both your mother's side and your father's side. Yes, yes. And your father always said, rich people are bad. They're evil. They're liars and cheats, right? That came from your father. Oh my God, yes. And I get this all recorded. This is all documented. This is all substantiated. It's all recorded. This happens hundreds of times. So you have this counter-intention when it comes to make money. So when I look, my dad was a welder. My mom was a homemaker. They came from Italy. Poor, poor, poor. Money doesn't grow on trees. That type of mentality. Money doesn't grow on trees. What do you think? We're made of money? It was always about, we don't have any. We're never going to be rich, Kevin. We're not rich. It's not our fate. It's not our destiny. We didn't grow up in the right family. You just have to accept your position in this life. You're never going to be rich, Kevin. That's what they used to tell me. They'd say, stop dreaming, Kevin, because you're never going to make any of your dreams come true. This was in the DNA. So this physical body has DNA of all those negative programs and counterintentions when it came to making money. I happen to have some mental abilities, which is why I got into the Brotherhood, but I still had all this stuff when it came to making money. So I looked and I saw it, and my uncle said, what do you see? I told him what I saw. He says, yeah, you're exactly right. He says, in the Brotherhood, we have 33 processes that we can run on members. Most members don't need a lot of them because they came from wealthy families, but you are different. So these processes will have a tremendous effect on you. And I said, I can see that. I can see that if these are removed, it's going to have a powerful effect. So he said, okay, the first process I can run on you. Now, he didn't actually say the first process. He said, I can run the money process on you. I didn't know there was 33. I thought there was just one that was going to clear it all out. I said, great. And he told me it was going to cost thousands of dollars, which I didn't have. And I'm like, how can I make the money when I have these blocks and counterintentions? He goes, you're just going to have to work 100 times harder than somebody else to earn it, because you can still earn it. It just takes too much work that nobody is willing to do. And you have to just figure it out. Okay. So I went out there and said, okay, what can I do manually to make money? Okay, I could play the organ and charge people for that at different birthday parties. I was doing a professional clown and a professional magician at birthday parties and rich people's homes, and they would pay me for that. I was selling newspapers. I was a newspaper boy. I had a big route. I said, I'll increase that and beg people for more tips. I'll shovel snow. I'll pull weeds in yards. I'll do anything manual because I can earn some money, but I'm never going to get rich. So I scraped the money together, and I paid him. And he ran this energetic process on me. And I just sat there. He said, okay, let me explain it. He explained it. And he goes, okay, you can close your eyes or open your eyes. I'm going to go into your DNA of your mother and then your father and then your own bank in your own memory, not just this lifetime, but previous lifetimes, and get rid of all the counterintention. And he did this. And I felt this energy come up my spine. I felt tingling all over my body. You know, if you ever get hit, you kind of like see stars and you kind of can't see anything because everything just kind of like, I felt like that. And I felt really woozy afterwards. It didn't take very long, by the way, about a half an hour. And I felt really woozy. And he said, okay, let me know how things work out. So I went back. I looked at my business, my mail order business. I reviewed it one more time. And everything looked perfect. I changed one word in the headline. I did change one word. But maybe changing that word was something that came to me because the energetic counterintention was gone. And maybe that was the magical thing. I don't know. So I changed the word. I scraped more money together. I put the ad in the National Enquirer. I got a lot of inquiries. Actually, I got more inquiries per dollar in advertising spent than before. And I sent out my direct mail piece asking people to buy my product for $35. About a week later, after I mailed it, back then the mail was fast. So if you mailed a letter, it would actually get to most people within a day or two. 5 days after I mailed my letter, I got my first orders in the mail. I opened up the envelope and there was $35 in cash. And then the next one, $35, and this was cash. Some people sent postal money orders. And then the next day, more orders. The next day, more orders. The next day, more orders. It continued to go up for about a week. Then it tapered off and stayed there for about another week, maybe 10 days. Then it started dropping down. About 30 days later, I got my last order. I made a fortune. This is unbelievable. I can scale this up. So I took the profits and I bought more ads. The orders came in. I made over $1 million. And I wasn't even 18 years old. And this is back in the 70s. So you do the math. What was that, 10 million today? I mean, it was unbelievable. I didn't know there were other processes. And I felt like Superman because I didn't feel like money was a challenge to make. I thought this was the easiest thing in the world to do. I mean, making money was just like so stupidly easy. My mind became flooded with all these money-making opportunities. And I would write them all down. And I would say, money-making opportunity. And I would write it down. I go, that will make a ton of money. Here's another one that just pops into my mind. I write them all down. And I had a file folder of about 200 of these money-making, we called them net profit generator systems, that if you just did one of them, you'd make hundreds of thousands of dollars in income, like nothing, with a tiny bit of investment. And I'm like, This is unbelievable. Money is the easiest thing in the world. About a year later, I found out that there were 33 processes. And then I said, I want the next one. And I want the next one. And I paid over $1 million back then, back in the late 70s, early 80s, to go through all the money processes. And I can tell you, and not just me, look, people in the industries that I've been in always were just amazed. And even my close friends, they say, we've never seen anything like this. You just sit there and say, yeah, let's make some money. And in a week or 2 or 3, your bank account is just flooded with inflows of cash deposits. How does that happen? I said, look, because if you use the creation or manifesting technique properly, and you don't have any counter intentions, it works like magic. That's how it works. So I started looking at people around my sphere of influence, people that worked for me, people that were friends of mine, that were colleagues, and I could look in their field. They all have this counter intention, some more than others. I got a lot. And people that were making money had not as much as me when I started, but you could just tell a person based on their income and the house they lived in and the car they drove, how much energetic pushback they were getting, the counter intentions, how much stuff they needed to get cleared out of their field, removed, eliminated, because they were walking around with a black cloud over their head. They were, like you may feel, they did have a curse on them. Effectively, this is a curse, right? It's a black cloud. Yeah, they were born under an unlucky star. They are unlucky. Yes, energetically, you could say that. Absolutely. And unless they get it cleared, unless you get it cleared, you're going to continue to struggle the rest of your life. Doesn't mean you won't make money. It's just going to be harder. And it's going to be harder to keep the money because the energy is working 100%, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week against you. So I started showing a few people. There was one guy who was a UPS driver. And I said, why don't you do this? And I cleared up some of his energetic blocks. He went on to build a business doing $50 million a year in sales within just a couple of years. No experience in business, never launched a business. Unbelievably successful. There was another fellow who used to work in a pizza parlor. He worked in the kitchen making pizzas. He was sleeping on a blow-up mattress with his wife in the basement of his mother-in-law's house. And I said, why don't you do this? But it wouldn't work. And I said, let me get rid of the energetic blocks, which I did. Not all of them, a couple, just a couple. And all of a sudden, he went on to build a business doing over $150 million a year. He had a brand new Rolls-Royce Phantom. And I remember he picked me up in it and took me to a fancy dinner. He had a chauffeur, a butler. He had over 300 employees. He had a brand new limousine. This is when limousines were popular. Pick people up at the airport. He'd go out in the limousine or the Rolls-Royce Phantom. Unbelievable. Then there was another guy who was in the ministry. He was flat broke. He was in the ministry. He was working for a Christian ministry. But he wanted to get rich, but he was flat broke. And I think it was 40 when he started. So he wasn't a young man. And he got involved, and in a few years, he became unbelievably wealthy. He bought his own private island because the energetic counterintentions were removed. Then there was a fella who used to work in a travel agent, young guy, around 20 years old. He was a travel agent. He lived at home. Got married, moved into a one-room apartment, one room with his wife, young wife. He was young too. And he wanted to get rich. And I removed some of the energetic imprints. He went on to build a business doing over $150 million a year in sales. Actually, about 125 million was their big year. No, actually, it was 125 million pounds because it's from England. So in dollars, that's 175 million. and has this gorgeous mansion in one of the wealthiest neighborhoods in Yorkshire, England. Incredible guy, super successful, because now making money was easy and effortless. He didn't feel like he was swimming upstream. He didn't feel like something was pushing against him. He didn't feel like he had a curse on him anymore. He felt like making money was actually something that was easy to do. And I can tell you story after story after story, person after person after person after person that have gone through these processes of releasing the energetic imprints that are holding them back, the counter intentions. Unbelievable. So about a year ago, I decided to deliver to people these money processes. There are 33 of them, but the last 3 are too powerful, so they're not being delivered yet. We're delivering 30 of the money processes, but you only need the first one. Yeah, it's much better if you get 2 or 3 or 4, but at least one. That's going to change everything. Yes, the more you get, the faster the change, the faster things could work for you, absolutely. So these money processes, I delivered 30 money processes. People came in from all around the world, and I delivered the processes, and I recorded them on video. Afterwards, people started writing in, and I have a stack of comments from people that wrote in. And you've heard me on the show read these comments before and show you the comments. Hundreds and hundreds of them, of people that wrote in and said, I went through the money processes in 3 days. I went through all 30. I got home, and in the mailbox, there was a check for $45,000 that I was completely not expecting, off the radar screen, never thought about it, never even knew it was supposed to be coming in, didn't know it was owed to me. It was like a miracle. Another fellow said, I went through the money processes, and within 30 days, one of my vendors sent me a check for $90,000. It was an invoice that we had sent a couple years ago, and it must have fell through the cracks. They didn't pay it, and we didn't know they didn't pay it. Our business was doing okay. We never even thought about it. And all of a sudden, $90,000 in cash. Another person said, I went through one money process. I went back to my job, and the day I got back, I got offered a promotion with a 50% pay raise. He said, how did that happen? Another person said, I went through the money processes, and I got back, and one of my children who was applying for college applied for scholarships, which I told her, don't bother because we don't qualify for scholarships. She got 3 scholarships accepted, one for $250,000, I think it was. Because that was like getting a $250,000 windfall because we didn't have to pay the $250,000 for the school. Because that's just after going through the money processes. Other people have said they've gone through the 1 process or 3 processes or 10 processes, and afterwards, all of a sudden, my stock trading account, there was one guy who does trading, and I'm not sure what kind of trading, but he says he usually makes about $1,500 a week in his trading, and he trades the same way every single time. And over a year, it's consistent. It's about $1,500 a week in profits, give or take $100, but it's right there. It's like clockwork. He says he got home, and I looked at my account, and I had made $8,500 that week. He goes, never, ever has it been that high over a year. It's always been right at the same level. This is how it could potentially work. And it's exciting. And I get comment after comment after comment from people saying, I've never felt energy move in my body before. When I went through these processes, it was just off the charts. It's powerful stuff. But the point is, the one reason that manifesting doesn't work is counter intention. And if you read any and every book on manifesting, and there's a lot of good ones out there, Think and Grow Rich. That's a classic book on manifesting. Ask and it is given. That's a classic book on manifesting. You go through my course, which I think is the best in the world, Your Wish is Your Command. How to manifest your desires. And you learn the recipe You go through my video series. It's one video for an hour, 10 steps to manifesting your dreams. I did a speech at a private club where I gave that lecture, and I also got an interview with Peter Sage. And we've had it on this show, the interview. We showed the interview with Peter Sage where I give you the 10 steps. It's a simple recipe. If you follow the how to manifest what you want recipe, and if you follow it perfectly, it will work. It will create results. But you're not going to get the results you really desire if you have counter intention working against you. You have to clear that from the field. If you don't, nothing is going to change. And remember, it's in your DNA from your ancestors on your mother's line and your father's line, and it's also in your bank, which means everything that happened in this lifetime, the decisions you made, the postulates you made, the beliefs you instilled, what you believed to be true, the programs you instilled, the programs you accepted from others. Like in my case, when my mother said, "You're never going to be rich, Kevin." That's a program. And if I accepted that, which I did, it was in my field. It was acting as a counterintention. It's a vibrational frequency that's stopping me from manifesting my goals. It's the exact opposite frequency. So it acts as interference. If you're trying to broadcast a frequency and somebody's trying to scramble your circuit, they broadcast an interfering frequency. It's similar to that. So unless you clear, transmute, eliminate from your field the counterintention, it's going to be a struggle. This is the one critical area that you need to address if you want to make money. Yes, we're assuming you're going to be following the how to manifest techniques properly. But unless you get rid of the counterintention, you're not going to see the results you want. End of story. So we offer the money processes now, and here's how we deliver them. You can buy one money process, you can buy 10, you can buy all 30, or you can buy as many as you want. Every month, we deliver the money processes here in the Chicagoland area. It's in the Chicago suburbs of Schaumburg. It's near Schaumburg, which is a Chicago suburb. So you could come to Chicago, and one of our facilitators will put you in a room and meet you with the other people that are attending, and you are shown a video of me that was recorded, and I deliver the process directly to you, right there. You can get 1, 2, 3, 4, however many you can afford, or you can get up to all 30. The more you get, we give you discounts. And if you come to Chicago, I take you to dinner. So everybody who comes in that month to get the money processes, I take everybody to a nice dinner. I get a chance to meet everybody personally. If you can't come to Chicago for whatever reason, our facilitators will come to you. So if you're watching and you say, yeah, I want the money process, I just want 1, or I want 3, that's all I can afford. I want 5, or I want 10, whatever you want. When you purchase the money process, our coordinator will reach out and say, we have a scheduled event coming up 100 miles from you, or 150 miles, or close. And if we don't have anything close to you, we will send someone to your area or close to you, and we will deliver it in your local area. And we've had people go to Cuba. We've had facilitators go down to Argentina, I think Brazil, Panama, all over Asia, Australia, Africa. We've had facilitators go all over the world to people who purchase these processes. The reason we do this is the processes are so powerful, and quite frankly, they're so secret. They're not taught outside the Brotherhood, that we can't give you a digital download. We actually have to send somebody with an encrypted device to deliver the processes to you, because they're that secret, they're that powerful, and you have to sign a non-disclosure agreement so that you don't reveal any of the information that you're being exposed to. Remember, this came from the Brotherhood. This is the first time this is being delivered outside of that organization. And the results that we're seeing by the stack of written and emailed testimonials from people that have gotten the processes delivered on them. There's nothing that can compare. Absolutely nothing. It could potentially change your life forever. Heck, you be the judge. You'll know. But I'll tell you, when we look at 100% of the people, not 99, 100% of the people write positive comments after they go through the processes, talking about the positive effects they physically feel in their body or feel in their emotional state or feel energetically or with the positive results that they're seeing in their life, which means they're making more money. The proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding. So if you want more information on the money processes, there's a QR code there. You can use your camera and click on the QR code. That'll take you to a page which explains more about the money processes and give you the opportunity to purchase. There's also a website address that you can use as well, either one. It'll take you to a page where you can read more, read some of the comments right there about the money processes. And if you want to purchase, you can. You can get 1, you can get 10, you can get all 30. So think about it. This could be the answer you've been looking for.